So knowing blood type is going to be really important when it comes to donating blood because only certain types of blood could donate to people with other types of blood. And if you give someone the wrong type of blood in a blood transfusion, that their blood could actually clump together and that person could die just from getting the wrong blood. So why is that? Well, we have these proteins, right? Let's say this is my patient's going to have type A blood. And and all of us are also going to have these antibodies. And all these antibodies they're proteins that are just also traveling around the blood, and they're kind of just like making sure that everything in the blood is supposed to be there. So they're going to like bump into this red blood cell, they recognize that it's an A, and they're like, okay, this cell is cool, it's going to be one of ours. But then you might have a bacteria in your cell that might have, let's say, protein X, right? And these antibodies are going to bump into that bacteria. They're going to recognize that protein that's not supposed to be there, and these antibodies are going to clump around it, and then your body's going to attack those cells that are foreign, that aren't supposed to be there. So let's say we have a person with type A blood donate to this patient. Right? Now we have this donor's red blood cells in the patient's blood, and these antibodies are going to bump into these A proteins, and they're going to recognize these A proteins as their own. There's really no difference between them, and so a type A person can donate to a type A person. Now let's say that we have a type O person donate to a person with type A. Well, these antibodies are going to bump into this cell, and well, there's no proteins to recognize, and so if there's no foreign proteins to recognize in this case, these antibodies aren't going to clump around the cell, and this works out too. So just by having no proteins, type O people could donate to everyone. They're the universal donor. All right. Now let's say we have type B blood to donate to type A. Well, now we have these type B cells in the bloodstream. These antibodies are going to run into the type B proteins, and they're going to recognize it as something that's not supposed to be in the body, right? They're going to attack this cell, and the blood's going to start to coagulate, and it's going to clump together, and that person could die from that blood transfusion.